Howdy, y'all. Welcome in. It's a fabulous Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. And happy May. My goodness, it's already been a whirlwind of a month. Just a few days in. Just every day something fun and something amazing happening. So, welcome. If you are new here, my name is Sandra Waldrop. You are watching Kingdom Acres, and this is my segment on Craft Around the Clock. If you are not in Craft Around the Clock, I encourage you to join that group. It is amazing. So many fabulous women, so many fabulous creators, just teaching amazing things and inspiring with new techniques and crafts and just so many different styles. So if that's something that interests you, please go ahead and join that free group. Just answer the questions. Those are there just to keep out like the bots and the scammers and the spammers and all that kind of stuff. So anyways, I just wanted to start out by talking to you guys about my upcoming book that's coming out. It is called Crab Apple Holler Almanac. I know that's backwards. I'm so sorry. There's no way for me to flip the camera. But this will be coming out in just a couple of weeks. I'm still working out kinks. I'm still finishing up the content in it. And I am so excited to share it with you. It is going to be so much fun. Hi, Tracy. So anyways, that will be coming out soon. Crab Apple Holler Almanac. I'm so excited. So if that's something that interests you, the homesteading, old traditional hymns, just thrifting, inspiration, crafts, all these things, recipes, you name it, it's in here. So that's going to be a ton of fun. Just keep an eye out for that. Hello, Joe Helen. How are you? So I want to say, I can't even remember when I actually did this craft. It has been months and months since I did this little faux vintage looking scale piece. And I love it. I love it so much. I use it as a piece of decor in my home. Hello, Cynthia. Oh, hello, hello. Hi, Robin. And so I love it so much. But the more I look at pictures of similar items online, they usually have a dish that sits on top. So we're going to be making that today. It's not really a dish, but just kind of like a container looking thing that sits on top of the scale. You guys know what I'm talking about. I'm doing great. Hi, Glinda. So anyways, that's what we're going to be working on. I've been meaning to do this for a while because I actually got the piece for it to do it around December. So I know that this was a last year project. If you want to see how I made this, please go to my YouTube channel. It is on there. Kingdom Acres, Homemaking and Homestead. It is on there. And please share it out to your friends. I've only got like 400 and something subscribers on there, so I'd really love to boost my subscribers over there. Normally I have this sitting on my upright piano with just little vintage hanky like this, just hanging over the side. And then my daughter and I had made these little greenery rings at the beginning of the year, and it just kind of sits like that with like a little lantern in the middle, and it's gorgeous like that. It really is. But I really wanted to have that extra little just that extra little something, you know. It's overcast in central Maine and a bit chilly. We had chill this weekend. I was cold on Saturday. My daughter's friend had a pool party, and my daughter shivered just the whole time. It was freezing cold, but she still had a blast. So the kids, they're resilient. They get in. It was like 70. So anyways, so I had purchased this tree collar from Dollar Tree, you know, just for like their mini trees. And I didn't even take the labels off of this yet. So you're gonna watch me struggle with that. That's always fun. But when I saw these, I was like, yes, I know exactly what I can use that for. So I went ahead and grabbed one while they had it, and then I put it in my craft room, and then it got buried by other crafts and things because I don't ever put anything away. Okay, I blame the ADHD. Things get piled and I move the piles around, and right now my whole house is a disaster because we're having to completely clean out my girls' room and replace their mattresses and box springs and all that stuff, and we're swapping out furniture, and so everything is just it's wild over here. But anyways, back to the project. If you're wondering what this is made out of, this is just a little piece of wood from Dollar Tree, a candle holder, and then these two pieces of metal are they are the burner covers, all from Dollar Tree. This is all Dollar Tree items. So this is a thing that would sit on top, and this is very flimsy, so I can bend this, which I'm going to, but I want this to be the front. So I'm gonna bend it ever so slightly just to give it kind of that, that look where it comes down in front. And I just did that with my hand. See that? Now it looks like it would on a traditional scale. Look at that. Isn't that cool? So we're going to, I'm trying to center it so y'all can see. Oh, that's why. The angle of my camera is weird today, but that's how it's gonna sit. And especially when you put this little deal on it, it's going to look even more fabulous. And if I could get that right, you guys could really tell. But yes, it's gonna look fabulous like that. Or if you didn't want to do greenery, you could find another little thing for this to sit on. I have this little piece that was off of like a garden orb, and I think that that would look really cool too, with maybe some foam inside and then some greenery spilling out. I'm very greenery happy these days. So we're gonna work on this little addition. Thank you, Joe Helen. Hello, Diane. How are you? A copy of my print. Okay, so this print, is that what you're talking about, Miss Jackie? This is a book that I am actually self-publishing. It's going to come out in just a couple weeks. It is Crab Apple Holler Almanac. So that's what I was sharing at the beginning of my video. Isn't it beautiful? Isn't it gorgeous? So I'm so excited about it. So excited. I did a sourdough class so I could share some of that. Interviewed the lady who did the class here locally, and it's just it's so much fun. Such a near and dear project to my heart. I've always loved writing and just doing that kind of stuff. So anyways, I'm pulling back out my moss green Waverly chalk paint because that is what I used on the original piece, and I really want it to look like this, like it goes with this, and so I'm using that. And I'm so pleased that this bends so easily, because you can, you know, you can make it come out in. However, you just don't want to do it too much because you can cause this to kind of break. So just be mindful, because this is not very high quality stuff. Yes, ma'am. Huh? Yes, a wasp is an insect. It's got 6 legs. It's a flying insect. We were discussing the differences between insects and arachnids, because she has to bring to co-op tomorrow, she has to bring in 11 insects. And I was like, well, you just grabbed a spider. Are you allowed to use spiders? So we're just having that discussion. She's like, I guess I better find out what all counts in this situation. My chalk paint is pretty thick. feels like it needs some water, which I have some water here. Let's give it some water. I don't have a stirring stick, but I do have a pencil. Haha. I'll just use a pencil. Set that there. Well, on the scale. Oh, the printout on the scale. Okay, yes, ma'am. That I actually just Googled. It's not my print out for the scale. I just literally Googled, what did I Google? I put in the search engine, scale, face, covers. I don't know. I'll put a link to it so y'all can just like go to Google and save the image. I'd hate to like put it on there as if it were mine because I don't know who it belongs to really. Like it's one that's kind of all over the internet. But I'm sure the person who actually created it would, you know, not like me to, you know, falsely represent it as my own, or, you know, so I'll put a link. That's what I'll do. I'll put a link. Okay, and I'm just gonna go to town with this moss green. It's got some writing on here, but this chalk paint covers it up. There's no like raised areas on it or anything. So they must have painted right on it. At first I was thinking that it was like vinyl and I was gonna have to take it off, but it's not. It's not. So I can just go right on over it. I might have to do more than one coat. I'm pretty sure I had to do more than one coat on the original scale. So, but yes, I love this color. It's one of my favorites. It's one of my favorites. Does anybody have any fun plans this week? It is, Diane, yours too. I just feel like it's such a vintagey color. Kind of more on the retro side maybe, but it still can come into the primitive. It's just, yeah, I love it. Kind of like that mustard yellow. I love that mustard yellow too. That was kind of on all of the appliances used to be that color. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I would love, speaking of appliances, the mustard yellow appliances. Nothing would make me happier in this world right now than if I could find one of the old mustard yellow sets of a washer and dryer. Those things lasted forever. And the dryer would dry your pants to where when you went to take them out of the dryer, remember, like the button would burn you because, but your clothes were so crisp and so nice and dry. Like the dryer dried and the washer washed, and they didn't sing songs. I don't really care if my washer can sing me a tune. That's not what I've got a radio. But I would love if we did not have to replace our washing machine every couple years. Nowadays, you have to replace your washing machine pretty much every couple years, even the expensive ones now. I just want to go somewhere and be like, oh, it's old, and spend, $100 or something on this old set washer and dryer that my husband can easily fix himself, right? Because it's all very like standard machinery and there's no computers involved. And, and then just have it last me the rest of my days. Back in the old days, people bought their set of appliances when they were young, and then that was it. That's all they needed for the rest of their days. Now, every couple of years, I'm putting in the call to my husband, the SOS call of, hey, honey, it's time for a new washer. He knows how to fix things. He fixes things still, even with all of the complications but that would be so much easier. The good old days. Oh, Colorado Springs. Oh my goodness. So beautiful over there. So beautiful. Oh goodness. Hold on. Bear with me. Gotta plug things in around here. What? You only need 2 more bugs. Okay. Very good. Very good. Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for being here, Brenda. Thank you for being here. Colorado is just gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. My husband loves Colorado. He often jokes that he would love to move to Colorado. I'm a Texas girl. But I am my priority in life is gardening. So if I can't easily garden wherever we're going, we're gonna have some struggles. So if he ever wants to move, it has to be somewhere where we have really good soil. Quality is not what it used to be, for sure. Yes, we've gone through so many deep freezers. We just had to get a new one recently. My daughter woke me up at 2 o'clock in the morning. She was like, the deep freezer's making a sound. Something's wrong. And I went and everything was starting to, you know, feel a little soft on the outside. You could tell it wasn't running. And we woke up the next morning and I told my husband the deep freeze went out last night. And he's like, oh my gosh, we have like over $1,000 worth of groceries in there. We need to, you know, get this figured out. So he got on Facebook Marketplace, found a used appliance store local to us. That's kind of just like a hole in the wall place. And we went and got a new deep freeze to transfer all of our food over for only, I want to say just like a couple $100. But this one makes noises every once in a while. It's got like an alarm on it, and I'm not really sure what the alarm is telling us. But the alarm does like to sound for no particular reason because it hasn't stopped working. And so I was thinking that the alarm was sounding because it was like not working, but that's not the issue. So I was raised differently, right? Like much different than the household my kids are being raised in. When I was a toddler, my dad was cleaning his gun and ended up putting a hole in our deep freeze. I was about an inch from not being here today. We'll just say that. That freezer survived. The freezer survived. And it forever had a Band-Aid where I was like, oh, it got a boo-boo, and I went and put a Band-Aid over it. It is a miracle that I'm here today. God's grace and mercy for sure. But that just goes to show you that even a deep freezer can like go through some sketchy stuff in its life and still survive. Back then, those freezers were just resilient. Now you look at it wrong and it's no good. Look at that. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be so cute on that scale. I'm so excited. The 20 plus year freezer is working better. I wish that were true for us. 41 years old. I had to put my husband on. Husband got blood work back yesterday, and we immediately went into problem-solving mode, and he is now officially on a new eating journey. Okay, his food style of eating is officially changed, and I will be food prepping every weekend so that I can make sure that he is eating well throughout the week. nutrient dense foods, and you know, not overly sugar, good on the glucose index, all those things, because those numbers were very scary. And we're not claiming anything. We're not coming into agreement with anything in Jesus' name. We are rebuking it, because some of these things for us are generational curses that we do not want transferred to our children. So we are changing things in more than one way for our family, for our kids, for our future. So it's work. It's always work. You know, when we first started living for the Lord, there was a lot of things that we had to give up. Not had to, but you know, we were convicted in our hearts to give up, and it has made a world of difference in our home, in our lives, in our outlook, in our attitudes, all of that, and our children have benefited from it. So we are moving right along. It's only 11:30. I've already got this covered in paint. So, but that's what's going on over here. I was up 10 till 4 this morning. I was up at 3:50 to get my husband's lunch all packed and make him a smoothie, and you know, get high protein smoothie. Fresh sourdough focaccia made. I planned on it being like different, but it overproofed, and I just made it into focaccia, and it worked just fine. Thank you so much for the prayers. You're gonna have to put the wood stove back on again. My goodness, Joe Helen. It only got down to 70. Not too bad for us. Thank you so much, Jackie. Hi, Miss Lori from Lavender and Lace. How are you? So, anyway. Hi, sweet Irma. How are you? Oh, my precious friend, my sweet friend. So, isn't that gorgeous? Isn't that gorgeous? Now, if you wanted to do a printable on this, you absolutely could. I love the simplicity of it, so I'm not going to, but we're just gonna spend some time antiquing it, making it look right. You know, because this has like all the little like enamel looking black spots. So we're going to do that to it. That's what we're going to do. And it is so easy. It is so easy to do that. We'll probably finish this project in less than 45 minutes. I do have another little something to kind of fool around with after this, because I'm thinking I'll probably want to do an arrangement inside of this with maybe, you know, some stuff spilling out. But, oh gosh golly. You know, some fun things kind of spilling out of it, but we are nearing the summer. We're in May now. I guess it technically is, no, we're in the last month of spring. Okay. So we could definitely start beefing up for summer. So we can make some Americana, some 4th of July type things. And I think it's going to be a blast. I couldn't believe that we had a cold front. I could not believe it. During the night in parts of Texas, it had gotten down, I think, into the 40s. It's crazy. I've got animals outside, and they were kind of like, what is going on? I had to turn back on the heat lamp for the baby ducks because I hadn't even been using a heat lamp for them, just because it's been warm enough, they don't really need it, even though they're still young. In Texas, because it's so warm, they don't really absolutely need to be under the heat lamp unless they're indoors. So mine have been outside because ducks are really smelly, and my husband is not a fan of smells. He has hearing loss, so his sense of smell is very heightened. Very heightened. So when I do bring birds in the house, we'll do like our big broiler lot, like 75 baby birds at a time, and I'll put them in my sunroom. He's like, I can smell it. I can smell it from like the living room. And so I'm constantly cleaning it out, trying to help him, and he's like, I can still smell it. Like, poor guy. That's just kind of how it goes. But yeah, my ducks were like, what is happening? Why is Mom turning on this heating lamp for us? What is going on? So, all right. Looks like I missed a spot back here, or I bumped it. I bet it's all over my dress, and I don't even know it. All right. I did that before when I was wearing my white dress. Y'all were all yelling at me, you're getting that all over you. And I didn't even see those comments until later on when I was going back through looking at the comments. And so I went back and I looked at the dress, and sure enough, I had spots. I was like, gosh golly. Thankfully, it came out in the wash. It did come out in the wash. So, but I went to put it on yesterday, and it had another spot, like just like some yellowing. So I'm probably going to have to do like some stain treatment on it. It wasn't in any of the spots where I had actually put something on it. So I don't know. You never know. I could have held a baby that, like, you know, spit up on me, or anything's possible. I could have dropped coffee on me. That's probably the highest probability, is that I dribbled myself like a baby. I very well could be the one at fault. Oh my goodness. I know I can't be the only one who does that though. Okay. You just want to make sure you get a good layer of that green on it, because you don't want any silver poking through. There's probably a little bit of silver. Okay, so this is the issue. I'm not standing like in line with the camera. That's what it was before. So, okay. So there's that. Let's get out. This is actually chalkboard paint that I got from Five Below. I was like, hey, that paint looks fun. Let's try some of that. So let's try a little bit of it. I just want like a dull black. I don't want something that's gonna, I don't want anything real big for that. Okay. Just something where I can put little marks. See, just something to make it look kind of older. You could sprinkle it with cinnamon if you wanted to make it look rusty even. But I just want it to kind of look like enamel that has nicks in it. So you can make long ones, short ones, kind of just give it a little bit of like a chicken pox look. Not chicken pox, I'm just like, but something like that. Just anywhere you want, all over it. And that really just ages it so much. And kind of there, and there. I can still, if you look real close, you can still kind of see that writing on there. If you're gonna do this to sell, I would do a couple more coats, at least one more coat, I didn't give this one a real, as many layers as I probably could have or should have, but oh well. But yeah, this was at Five Below. It's chalkboard paint from Artist Concepts, non-toxic. So I got it because I have a chalkboard that is stained from years of use. So I'm going to re-chalkboard it. Oh, my love, Jenny. Oh, hi, Nana Gouch. How are you? I am making a top to my scale. You know how they have those tops sometimes? So I'm making a top for my scale. Jenny, I was thinking about you this morning. I was like, I need to call her. I haven't called you in so long. It's been a while. We need to catch up. Okay. So I'm going to dry this off. And then I'm going to get out my little ink pad and my little makeup brush. This brush, I know a lot of people get these off of Amazon. They have them at Dollar Tree. You can get them at Dollar Tree in the makeup section. This ink pad came from Dollar Tree years ago, or it was given to me. I don't know. It's just some random ink pad that I have. The paint was at Five Below. Can you believe that? I will call you later. I miss you too. All the things have been happening around here. All the things. I can't wait to share with you all of my life's drama. I can share with y'all all my life's drama, but y'all probably wouldn't appreciate it. Listen, I love my community, my local community. I love my homeschool community. I love my 4-H community, but it is very woman dominant, right? And where you get a bunch of women together, there is often drama, okay? And because I am always like in everything, drama finds me. I've had several people tell me I'm not the issue, but sometimes I'm like, well, it keeps coming to me. Maybe I am the issue. Maybe there's something I need to fix, right? I don't know. The drama finds you too, Jenny. It's just wild situations. Wild. Outlandish. Oh, how much money was the chalk paint? I want to say it was like $2 or $3. Maybe $3. Yeah, it wasn't very expensive. Otherwise, I wouldn't have gotten it. I know Five Below has like up to $20 now. They have really expensive stuff over there now, but the chalkboard paint wasn't expensive, so I was really happy to find that. They had it in their little art section with like all the little palettes and little art kits and stuff. They had that there. And I want to say I got that over Christmas also. So I can see I got like a good glob of it right here. I need to go ahead and get that. All right, so we are going to do something a little bit different with this, though. I just now decided. What is... Oh, the thing... Okay, so this was a tree collar from Dollar Tree around Christmas time. On the back, it says Farm Fresh Christmas Tree. Right there. And I just flipped it upside down and bent it. So when you're like those seasonal items roll around and you're like, you know, just looking around thinking, what can I do with this? Just grab it because you can use it down the line. You're going to think of something to do with it. Good price. Yes. They did have other colors. Yes, ma'am, they did. Okay. So I'm getting my little bit of ink, and hopefully this is dry. Okay. Okay. I just don't want to smear it. And I'm just going to pat around it to kind of give it a little bit of a dreamy or smokiness to it. That one wasn't completely dry. Once I smooshed it. See what that does? It gives it more of that worn look. Yes, ma'am. I know you can't tell what it was just by looking at it, huh? I was so excited when I thought of it, but I just hadn't gotten around to doing it with all this, with all my life stuff happening. You know, life will get you busy. Okay, I think I got them all. I think I got them all. Look at that. Okay, so that is one layer. Okay, so we've got the green layer, we've got the black paint layer, and now we've got the ink layer. Okay, we're gonna do one more thing to this before we call that thing done. Okay, we've got our coffee podge. Okay, this is Miss Tracy's recipe for coffee podge, except I used clear school glue instead of white, and there was no rhyme or reason to that, only that is what I had on hand at the moment. Okay, we are going to try a little section. Let me remember where the back is. Okay, so that's the front, that's the back. You just have to remember, not that anybody can see it. You cannot see that. I can see it because I know it's there. But okay, so I'm just gonna go and I'm gonna do a little dab of this coffee podge, okay? Just a tiny little dab. I'm not gonna do a lot of it, okay? Then I'm gonna put my little warming tool at a 2, the level 2, the highest level, and I'm gonna burn this. I'm just gonna hold it there and let it kind of bubble up and burn. Just remember you're holding metal though, so it might get hot. I can smell it. Get it bubbling up. Okay. See that? I'm gonna go around there and do a few more. I started on the back because I want to make sure that was something that I wanted. If it's on the back and it goes wrong, it didn't actually happen, right? It didn't actually happen. I'm gonna go right over this marking, this enamel marking that I did with the grunge, the podge, the coffee podge. We're gonna do a level 2 and let's burn it. I'm not gonna start any fires like my dear mama friend, Miss Brenda. You can see it. You can't see it, I can see it. You can see it start to kind of bubble up. Don't put your finger right behind it because that metal does get hot. You can see it bubble up and kind of burn it a little bit. That's what you're going for. See that? It gives it just a little bit more antique look, and that was hot. I just touched right where I burnt it, so it was just hot. It didn't burn me though. Okay. I have been burnt pretty bad live. This is not one of those times. It's always with the hot glue tool. Always with that hot glue tool. There is nothing like a hot glue burn. I'll get you every time. Let's let it go down. Okay. It smells so good. It smells like burnt French toast a little bit, like well toasted French toast. Okay. I'm gonna touch it every time, y'all. I don't learn. I don't. Hello, Miss Tracy Wood. How are you, Miss Natalie? Oh, goodness. All right, let's see. I'm not just going to put it on the spots with that black paint because I want it to kind of be all over. Okay. I don't want it to look very uniform on here. You could just do one or you could do a few. Completely up to you. I had hoped I was going to have time for another project, but I guess I'm not. I talk too much. That's what it is. I talk too much. Y'all. But this is my therapy, okay? This is cheaper than going to a real therapist. Y'all are my therapizers. I'd rather just get on here and talk to y'all and pop some burnt bubbles on my little doodads and make something pretty. And that's my therapy. All right. I am going to kind of, I want something different. I'm just gonna kind of soften those edges a bit with some wet Podge. Just kind of soften it a little bit, and then you can burn that too if you want, or just dry it. What am I making? That is the question of the hour. Just kidding. I am making, so if you've ever seen the older style scales, like from the produce section of a mercantile, they often look like this, right? And I had made this scale last year. Well, they usually have a section that sits up here like this, okay? And at Christmas time, Dollar Tree, I had saw they had tree collars, right? Just regular tree collars. They bend so easy, okay? You have to be careful not to overdo it and end up cracking the metal. But I think it's just a great little addition. Look at that. Look at that. So, anyways, I'm so excited because I have some more craft supplies coming in from Amazon today for me. So I'm going to be starting a new series. I'm not sure if I will make kits available for them yet or not. Y'all will have to tell me if you would like me to put out some kits or something for what I'm fixing to do. This is just a teaser. I'm not going to tell you what it is, okay? Y'all will have to catch me next week for that. But anyways, I'm just putting that out there now, so you guys are the first to know, my live viewers. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to come find me on Facebook also, so you can catch me live. But if not, you will want to probably find my Etsy shop. It's Kingdom Acres Designs, I want to say. It's been a while since I've added anything to my Etsy shop. I'm gonna have to get better at knowing my own information. Listen, in my household, I am not the adult, okay? My husband takes care of all the things. Look at that. Look at how cute. Oh my goodness gracious. Let me just see. Make sure it's straight for y'all. Look at that. Oh, I am just in love with this. I'm in love with how that turned out. You just imagine, you could put in a bird's nest. Like I've got some, got 3 minutes. Let's make a little bird's nest in this. I was going to do a whole other craft, but I jibber-jabbed too much and ran out of time. Okay, so you could put some moss in here, right? some moss, some Spanish moss even. I always keep, well, I live in Texas, so Spanish moss just grows in my yard. It grows in my yard. So do that, put in some different greenery in it, or, you know, we're just fooling around right now. Some primitive flowers in there. You could put in, if you did this around Easter, you could do your eggs. You could do all kinds of stuff. Okay, before this, without this collar, I just had a lantern sitting in that, and that was beautiful as is. I do want to keep my little vintage hanky in there though, because I think that is just adorable. Adorable. Okay, I'm gonna find something to go in here because it needs a topper in here, right? Like it needs something, but I'm going to find something for that. But look at that, how easy it was. It's $1.50 at Christmas, y'all. I know they will have them again this year. Keep an eye out. You see something like this, buy it. All right. All right, I'm gonna take off, y'all. Go back into Craft Around the Clock. Refresh your page. The next presenter is up, I'm sure right now, already having a grand old time. Thank you so much for being with me today. Thank you for joining in, commenting, and just being a good friend, sharing this out. I appreciate you. If you are watching me on YouTube, please be sure to like and subscribe. And I thank you all again. Thank you for homemaking a homemade home with me today. I will see y'all next week.